Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new Animal Crossing New Horizons video. Today we are going over everything you need to know about the classic horned hats, how you can get some iconic designs from the original version in New Horizons, as well as making your own. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So as many of you know, my Animal Crossing character typically wears a horned hat, as you can see here. And although it's been mentioned briefly in previous videos, I still get asked either what is that hat that I'm wearing or how did I make it in pretty much every video. So I thought it'd be a good idea to finally go over everything you need to know, including how to make them in a tutorial style video. Now, horned hats, as they're typically referred to as, are a style of hats worn by some of the players in the original Animal Crossing games. The design of the hats always matched the shirt design worn by the player, so for example, if like me you wore a fishbone shirt, your hat would also feature that design. However, the hat style would always remain the same, featuring said horns, at least for the male characters. Female characters wore a more cone-like triangle hats with hair coming out from either side. Anyway, there are a number of fan theories as to why some of the human characters had horns, but the most popular theory suggests they were simply trying to fit in with the other animals around town. Whether that's true or not, the horned hats that eventually could be worn by all players in later versions of Animal Crossing soon became super iconic to the Animal Crossing franchise. Now sadly, thanks to all the upgrades and additional customization options added with every new iteration of Animal Crossing, like new hats and new hairstyles and colours, these horned hats kind of disappeared and were no longer the default headgear you couldn't change. There is some good news though, these horned hats never truly disappeared completely and are of course still available in New Horizons. Now unfortunately, these horned hats cannot be obtained natively or designed within New Horizons, but just to be clear, they are definitely not hacked items and are legitimately available, which is why we're going over how to do that in this video. Now, despite not being able to make them using a custom pro design pattern in the game, they can be obtained using old Animal Crossing New Leaf QR codes. Back in the New Leaf days, when you made a pattern, you could save your design to specifically be worn as a horned hat, and it's those QR codes that can be brought back into New Horizons. Don't worry though, there's no need to boot up New Leaf in order to make one of these, thanks to a fan-made pattern designing website. Now before we get into exactly how to do this, you can use any horned hat QR code you already have. I'll put a few popular ones I made on screen now, as well as ones you find on the internet or even by going back to New Leaf and making one if you have the game. But the simplest way to start is by visiting the AC Patterns website, that of course I will link below, and uploading or designing your own there. To create your own, you can simply draw out your design or upload an old texture which can be found on Google or one you made earlier. Here you can see I'm using the Mario shirt as an example, which will fill up the pattern space. Then it's just a case of selecting the change button to the left and adjusting the title of the pattern, the author and town, which can be whatever you want, and finally the most important part, selecting the hat with horns option from the drop down box. It's super important you select the hat with horns option, otherwise you're just creating a normal pattern. Anyway, once you've completed these few steps, you can save the information, then generate a QR code and save it for later. And that's all you need to do for the pattern side of things. Next, we have to scan the QR code into New Horizons. As you know, the Nintendo Switch doesn't have a camera like the 3DS did, so to do this, you need to use the Nintendo Switch Online app that's available on most smartphones. Once you've linked your Nintendo account in the app, all you need to do is select the Designs app and press either scan a QR code using your camera or scan from a saved image. We'll go ahead and scan the Mario one we just made from my computer screen, and it will bring the entire design over to the Nintendo Switch Online app and it can be saved. The final step is to head back to New Horizons and open up the Custom Designs app on the Nook phone, and in the Pro Design section press the plus button on the Joy-Con or Pro Controller to download a design. This will then search your Nintendo Switch Online account for the QR code that was just scanned. As you can see, it confirms it's the Mario horned hat, and we can save it and overwrite the pattern. Then all you need to do is wear it. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about the Horned Hats, how to create them, and how to get them into New Horizons. So I hope this helps some of you out and answers some of your questions. I don't really know why they were excluded from Pro designs in New Horizons, but given New Horizons was made to work with all available New Leaf QR codes, you can upload or scan any designs you want. It's pretty awesome and a huge throwback for the Horned Hats and fans of the original games. But what do you think? Are you a fan of Horned Hats? And what is your favourite pattern or clothes design from previous Animal Crossing games? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Anyway, for now, that pretty much wraps up this video. If you're an Animal Crossing fan, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any New Horizons news. Until then, I'd like to give a special thank you to this channel's Patreon supporters, as well as this channel's members. You guys absolutely rock and truly help me upload as regularly as I do. I couldn't do it without you. Don't forget to head over to our Discord server too, and of course, if you made it to the end of the video, please comment codes just to let me know you did. That would be super awesome, and please be sure to include whether or not you'll be making your own Horned Hats. I'd love to know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining. Please be sure to leave a like if you did. Thanks for watching, I hope you have an amazing day, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.